The persistent challenge of corruption in India. Causes, effects, and remedies. Corruption in India. Corruption in India is a deeply entrenched issue that affects almost every aspect of governance and society, from the corridors of power in New Delhi to local municipal offices in small towns. Corruption undermines the nation's development, fosters inequality, and erodes trust in public institutions. Despite being one of the world's largest democracies, India continues to grapple with challenges posed by systemic corruption. Causes of corruption in India. Several factors contribute to the persistence of corruption in India. Bureaucratic complexity. India's bureaucratic system is notorious for its red tape. Lengthy procedures and excessive regulations create opportunities for officials to demand bribes to expedite processes. Political corruption. Elections in India often involve massive expenditures, much of which is unaccounted for. Politicians frequently engage in corrupt practices to recover these expenses or secure votes through illegal means, such as distributing cash or goods. Lack of transparency. Poor implementation of transparency laws and limited access to information allow corruption to thrive. Although laws like the Right to Information Act exist, their enforcement often remains weak. Economic disparities. Poverty and unemployment force many citizens to pay bribes to access essential services, while officials exploit the desperation of the underprivileged. Weak judicial system. The judiciary in India is burdened with a massive backlog of cases, resulting in delayed justice. This often deters whistleblowers and victims of corruption from seeking legal recourse. Manifestations of corruption. Corruption in India manifests in various forms. Bribery. Citizens frequently encounter demands for bribes in sectors like healthcare, education, law enforcement, and public utilities. Embezzlement. Misappropriation of public funds intended for welfare programs, such as rural development or food distribution schemes, is common. Nepotism and cronyism. Government positions and contracts are often awarded based on connections rather than merit. Corporate corruption. Business entities often engage in unethical practices, such as tax evasion, lobbying for favorable policies, and bribing officials to bypass regulations. Effects of corruption in India. Economic impact. Corruption hampers economic growth by discouraging foreign investment, increasing the cost of doing business, and diverting resources from development projects. Social inequality. Funds meant for public welfare often fail to reach the intended beneficiaries, exacerbating poverty and inequality. Political instability. Corruption diminishes public trust in political leaders and institutions, leading to widespread disillusionment and protests. Environmental degradation. Illegal mining, deforestation, and pollution often occur with the tacit approval of corrupt officials. Efforts to combat corruption. India has taken several steps to address corruption. Legislative measures. The enactment of laws like the Prevention of Corruption Act, Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act, and Whistleblower Protection Act aims to deter corrupt practices. Digital governance. Initiatives like Direct Benefit Transfer (DBT) and e-governance platforms reduce human intervention in service delivery, minimizing opportunities for corruption. Civil society and media. NGOs, activists, and the media have played a significant role in exposing scams and raising awareness. Campaigns like India Against Corruption have mobilized public support against graft. Judicial interventions. High-profile cases, such as the 2-gram spectrum scam and coal allocation scam, have demonstrated the judiciary's role in holding powerful individuals accountable. Challenges ahead. Despite these efforts, challenges remain. Corruption is deeply ingrained in societal attitudes, with many viewing it as a necessary evil to navigate daily life. Political will to address corruption often wanes once public pressure subsides. Additionally, enforcement agencies themselves are sometimes compromised, further complicating the fight against corruption. Conclusion. Corruption in India is a formidable challenge that requires a sustained and holistic approach. Strengthening institutions, enhancing transparency, and fostering a culture of accountability are essential to curbing this menace. While progress has been made, the journey toward a corruption-free India is long and requires collective efforts from citizens, government, and civil society. By addressing corruption, India can unlock its full potential and pave the way for inclusive and sustainable development.